Hello and welcome to Just Do It, a Dewey Brothers podcast. Eric, how you been?
Alex, I've been living a life of luxury, and by luxury, I mean sipping fine Moscato. JK, it's big rosé, you know it. And chilling in my chair, eating some good food. Some may say I've been taking a few hints from the Dewey Bros and eating their delectable diet. I don't know if it's working out too well because I am currently 500 pounds and my lungs have ceased to exist from all of the chain smoking I'm doing to get in preparation for ski season.
Eric, you gotta start making those cuts, dude. Ski season's coming up, and now, like, I know it was massing season, but you gotta start. It's gotta be cutting season soon.
That's the thing is once August comes around, then it's time to cut. But right now I'm just bulking, and let's say I have
Yeah.
never been bulkier. I barely fit through door frames. I have to roll around. Legs, yeah, they get a workout, but that's just because every time I squat, it's practically squatting 500 pounds because that's just how much I weigh. So I'm ready. I'm ready for the ski season. It's coming up, and I think by next pod, you guys are gonna see a whole different Eric.
Awesome, Eric. I better tell the folks at home how I'm doing. The Tour de France just finished. It just concluded. It was epic.
Very exciting.
Now we got the Tour de France Femmes, equally epic. Okay, this thing is awesome. More importantly, though, I'm trying to get into cycling weight, and I'm also overweight for cycling weight, Eric, which means I am a healthy 185. But I need to get down to an anemic 150 in order to make climbing weight.
Alex, you cannot
Yeah,
climb a mountain when 30 of those M's are going the other way. I mean, dude,
exactly.
come on. Yeah, Alex, and that's not even taking into account. Do you know what F equals? It's MA. This is a physics
Whoa.
podcast here. And so you might have the mass, but you have too much mass and the acceleration. You got the downhills. You're taking off. But those uphills, they're fighting against you, man.
No, those uphills are rough, Eric. So here's what I've been doing. I have been following a strict diet of nothing but turkey meat and Beyond Meat tacos all day, every day. Nothing but turkey and Beyond Meat tacos. That's how I'm gonna cut weight because they're so.
Alex, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to stop you there.
Yeah.
What are you using as your shell to your taco?
Oh, it's gotta be everybody's favorite Pepitos flour tortillas.
No, Alex. You said flour. That's got gluten in it. Carbs are the devil. Carbs are the devil when you
No,
cut,
that's
man.
what's been sabotaging me, dude.
So what I would do if I were you is I would every Sunday, you get your meal prep.
Yeah.
Pan press a layer of your turkey or Beyond Beef into a very, very thin layer, and you can actually make a tortilla out of meat or meat substitute, and I call it the beef tilla. So
So if I'm gonna make me a beef tilla, I got a question for you. Can I sprinkle panko breadcrumbs on it and bread it so it has that crunch?
a little bit of me wants to say yes because it tastes so much better that way. But Alex, it is cutting season. You cannot be adding any of that devilish gluten onto you. Instead of panko, do you know what I
Yeah.
would use as a congealant? Lard.
Oh, dude, you're right.
Animal
You're right.
lard.
That's
the
gonna help
trick.
get that meat to stick together better in your beef
Exactly.
tillas. Yeah.
It clogs your arteries and makes them really dense and ready just to truck up anything. Cause I mean, hey, that's how it works.
Not only am I going to be having heart attacks from my high cholesterol, but also from my EPO. So
Actually, the root of that word was wrong because you wanna participate in the Tour de France. So you keep the Tour in tortilla and you call it the Tour Bifa. Okay, the tilla is the problem.
gotcha. That checks out.
The
All
Tour
right, Eric.
Bifa.
This podcast, you know what I've been getting into listening to those D&D podcasts, so I figured maybe we
inferior
could talk.
podcast to ours,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
we
but I
can.
figured we could talk about some D&D,
Yeah. No, that's the thing is like that's what's great about the Just Do It podcast is
Yeah.
we are the golden standard of podcasts. So all these other small channels out there with not Dewey platoons of listeners, that's for sure. Um they need to look to us to see how to increase their base and pick up the people and boost their ratings.
That's right, Eric. We got a whole Dewey foxhole full of listeners, and this is what they want to hear, probably. I figure it's midsummer down at down at the Boston Commons. They're putting on Shakespeare in the park. It's Much Ado About Nothing this year.
Shakespeare lived in a park. I did hear that. He was homeless for a short period of time. Don't
Yeah.
fact check me on that, but yeah, that's where it came up with all of his creative geniuses. And like Shakespeare, Alex and I are let's say geniuses when it comes to playwriting. That's right. This upcoming summer, you're gonna hear the Just Do It podcast play. It will not be televised. It will be recorded, and it will just be another episode of this podcast.
We're gonna get iambic pentameter. It's gonna be amazing. We're gonna
so good.
We're gonna blow the whole budget on the stage production.
You've heard of Chekhov's gun. Get ready for the Dewey's some literary device. The Dewey device, if you will.
You've heard of Chekhov's gun, but wait until you hear the Dewey stanza. Am I right? So I figure we get our creative juices going. We talk about, something that's really creative, fun, a mystical land of magic and dragons and dungeons, if you will. So Eric, here's what I did for our first segment here. I went to the the monster manual, and I found some monsters. I figure I'm gonna read off a description. I bet maybe you'll come up, or no, better yet, I'm gonna tell you the name. You tell me what they are, and then I'll see how right you are.
I like that.
The Bullywug.
Oh, the Bullywug.
Yeah.
Now it's a mean ogre-like creature. It roams through the halls of middle school, all right? And it's got putrid stench, a whole lot of grotesque unshaven facial hair, and this thing, it feeds off of lunch money. So it goes around and beats up all the nerds with glasses and shoves them into lockers, which is that's its sort of it's hidey hole. So it'll store you in a locker for later, but it walks around and it's all like boom, 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 boom. I've went through puberty already, and none of you else have. Boom, boom, boom. And it lumbers through the halls, and it picks on weak sort of prey. All because
pretty close, Eric.
Okay, I was gonna say all because it's actually insecure about itself and doesn't know its place in the world.
That's like you're like halfway there. I got one question though. Mm-hmm. What level of moisture would you say a Bullywug has?
Oh my goodness, this thing is saturated.
All right, I think you got
it. Alex, it has a mix. Instead of what did I say? I said orcish. It's more ogre-ish. Like, this thing is living in a swamp. The only problem is its swamp is half Axe body spray and half just actual like body sweat.
That's right, Eric. You nailed everything. Okay, first of all, foul aristocracy. They consider themselves the right and proper rulers of the swamps and also the boys' locker room.
Mm-hmm. That's what happens.
Unruly diplomacy. They love nothing more than lording over those kids who won't pay up their lunch money protection fees.
Mm-hmm.
And amphibian allies. They are moist and slippery, and which allows them to talk to all of the creatures of the swamp that are also amphibians.
Hey, amphibians gotta stick together. It is a sun-drying, drought-esque world, and those amphibians gotta stick together and moisturize each other.
Eric, you nailed it. The only thing you missed was that they're not ogre-ish. They are frogs, frog humanoids. But other than that, I'd say you were right there, Eric. All right, we got one more.
Froggish and ogre-ish. Really, when you really think about it, aren't all frogs like? Don't you see the humanoid in the frog?
Oh yeah, except for these guys, because there's no human in there, Eric. Sometimes
it's just frog.
Sometimes you like see their like bully, brutish exterior.
They are tadpoles when they pop out.
Yeah, and then underneath that layer of high school bully is a layer of human that's like compassionate and caring, but then under that is more bully because they are bullywugs.
Wugs to each other. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, it's kind of like a 3-layer cake, if you will. Where the top 2 layers are the same. All right, Eric, we got one more. This one's really tricky. I think this one's a lot harder, and I'm not sure you're going to get it, okay, Eric? This one's called the giant spider snake. What do you think the giant spider snake looks like? Give me a description.
So honestly, I don't know why. Giant, I feel like giant. So I'm thinking large. I'm thinking it's a big thing. Easily in metric volume equivalent to let's say 20 liters of big rosé. And let's see, you said it's the giant spider
Yeah,
snake?
I would consider 20 liters of big rosé a giant monstrosity. So
Yes, yes.
that's correct.
So I'm thinking it's 20 liters of big rosé large, and
Yeah,
you say spider snake. So
spider snake. Yeah.
I'm thinking this thing has 8 legs due to it being a spider. But some of those legs are also just appendages in general. So I think it's got 4 arms and 4 legs, and it sort of scuttles around like a crab.
Two
But
arms,
snake,
3 legs on each side, scuttles around like a crab.
yeah,
Check.
yes, exactly. And you say snake, but I think
Yeah.
snake is actually it's one of those anagrams. So snake actually say it's like S dot N dot A dot K dot E dot, except no dot at the end because that's not how anagrams work. So and that stands for super narcissistic, artistic, uh, let's see, K is a weird word. And when you say carbine, encroacher. So this thing hangs out at PTA meetings and fights against our right to bear arms. So it is a large, grotesque. I don't.
Spider
It's
snake
very.
hybrid. Yep.
It's nope. Just spider, and then
Just
snake, of
spider.
course. It's so the K actually stands for Karen. So it's
Uh-huh.
basically a Karen. So this thing has the Karen pixie cut, and it walks around to all the PTA meetings and says, "No freedom to bear arms," because naturally this thing only has 2 arms and 6 legs. It hates arms in the general great ratio of things, and it really is against I believe Russian made firearms, which are
Yeah,
carbines.
Just like a Karen,
Hmm.
Eric, it can both spit venom, which does recharge on a roll of a 5 or 6, and also has web sense. It can tell when you're using the internet.
Oh my god, Alex,
The
one
only thing
thing
you
I've
missed
learned
though
is
is
the
that the giant
internet's
spider
deadly.
snake, the favored mount of the drow, dark elves, is that the spider snake is actually just a combination of a spider and a snake. Got the snake head, snake tail, spider body. It doesn't look very efficient to me.
Well, I don't Alex, personally, I don't see a picture in front of my screen, so I'm gonna imagine the snake is actually an
It does have
anagram,
a
and
pixie cut though. That's
oh
correct.
yes, okay,
Yeah,
thought so, and
I can guarantee that.
it definitely lobbies extra hard. This
Oh
thing
yeah.
does not like change in the community. Let's just say that.
And one of its reactions, it can wrap up a creature that's been hit by its bite attack, which I assume means one of those like educational wraps from like the early 2000s.
Alex, talking about educational raps, I
Yeah.
actually wrote one just for this moment.
Oh no.
All right, give me a beat, brother.
You want me to give you a beat? I'm gonna lay it out.
Nope,
Let's hit
nope,
it.
nope. Don't give me the beat. I got the rap. And by rap I mean spoken word.
Oh,
Hey,
that's way
to
better.
all the fellas out there listening from near to far, this is Eric telling that, hey, don't go to the bar. You're way too young to be drinking that stuff. Everyone knows, hey, I've had enough. You gotta drink that good old sody pop. Everyone knows, hey, that's the best. And best doesn't rhyme with pop. And so, hey, everyone, go to the shop. Hey, buy that water. We're all hydro homies here. Everyone knows nothing to fear. You got well hydration, and that's the station. Everyone's gotta be. Oh, it's all the party. It's the rage, and don't stick in a cage. Don't drink alcohol unless you want to get into a brawl. Everyone knows alcohol sucks. That's why you should stick to water. There we go, Alex. That's my educational rap.
Wow, Eric, that's really good. We'll put a little backbeat in there in the edit, or we'll
I
forget.
don't think we will. We won't.
Depends what I'm up
Um
to. You don't know
so
me.
there's a lot of nuance to that rap, but
All right.
It actually was sponsored by Big Rosé, who's pushing their new water-flavored rosé products.
Ooh, dude, that's tight. I really think that there's a market for water-flavored rosé. Sometimes you want a nice big glass of wine, but you're at a local park and there's kids around. And also you want it to taste like water because there's kids around. Try
Exactly.
new big rosés, new rosé, water-flavored rosé in refreshing tastes like Maine Springs and the Sierra Nevadas.
Gotta love tap water. I
Pumped out of New
honestly
Jersey,
wish.
where they get it all.
I don't know where Big Rosé is located. I'm at this point. I'm too scared to ask. So, Alex, any more D&D themed things that we can talk about before
Yeah,
we
Eric.
become just
Well,
pure shills for the large corporate entities that own this corporation? And
Eric,
corporation, I mean the podcast.
before we finish selling out on this podcast, now that we have a spider snake and a bullywug, fearsome enemies in their own right, I think we need to work together to make some sort of hero who can stop them. You
Who
know,
can
we gotta
vanquish
roll up a quick
these
character.
evils?
Yeah.
All right. So, first things first, we got to think of the race of this thing.
All right. I'm gonna let you pick the race. Go for it.
I'm thinking it's got to be a natural enemy to both bullywugs and giant spider snakes. So
Yep.
I'm thinking it's half bullywug and half giant spider snake.
No, Eric, it's got to be a humanoid race because otherwise we're not gonna have a good idea of the stat block.
All right.
I
So
got the
both
perfect
Alex,
one.
Alex, I got it. Nope, you're wrong. I'm correct in this. I'm going Alderman, which is of course the being of Futurama that derives its energy from the sun. Because one, amphibian gonna dry out in all that sun, and two, spiders and snakes. Those eyes are not fit for bright sunlight. So boom, I'm thinking Alderman.
Aldermen, those are pretty good. Don't aldermen also, aren't they part of the town government?
Yeah, something like that. And there's one thing about bullywugs that I know: they hate civic service.
That's true. Bullywugs they absolutely hate civic duty, Eric.
Exactly.
They take, instead of civic pride, they have civic scorn. It's on their character sheet. Okay, so we're gonna go. Let's start off with an Aasimar then. Those are angelic-like creatures that get their power from the sun.
All right, good enough for
And
me.
I'm thinking we need to roll up. We got to pick a class for our character, and then we'll dive into the backgrounds. What made him that way?
What made him that
So
way?
I'm
Well,
gonna
the
go
class. I'll let you pick the class, Alex.
we're gonna start at level 5. So I'm thinking 3 levels
Okay.
in his main class here. We're gonna do 3 levels in nice and easy fighter. Okay.
Oh,
But Eric,
no. Yeah.
he's got a heart of gold. Okay.
Obviously,
He doesn't. This isn't just a murder machine. Okay.
okay.
He murders with compassion, which is why he also has 2 levels of bard.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, I can see where this man's going.
So we got 3 levels in fighter. We got 2 levels in bard. That's the best of both worlds. You got the fight and the love.
So, but it's funny because this man, I'm already going in the backstory right now.
Yeah.
Obviously it's a man because at the Just Do It podcast, male dominance, male power. Never mind, don't say that. I didn't say that. Let's see. So this dude, he's one of the bros. He's having a good time. So he's a little bit of bard, meaning he's lit. He's a little fun.
Well, Eric,
he has a good time.
I got a reason why he's got to be a dude.
Oh, what is it?
His dump stat is intelligence. We're gonna
there
roll
we go.
Straight 8 on intelligence right here.
There we go.
He's not the brightest toothpick in the shed, if you know what I mean.
Respect. Okay. So Alex, he comes from a family of rosé makers. Okay.
All right. I like that.
And he's been so accustomed. Like he grows up in the in the winery, in the vineyards, picking grapes. He learned to really rattle some of those wild, long, tangly vines, and obviously his bardery only comes out when he's extremely plastered. Okay.
Yeah, and Eric, this guy can hold his alcohol because not only is he an Aasimar, a divine being, who makes sunshine gold rosé on his rosé vineyard.
Well,
Long,
also the sunshine is what allows his rosé to taste just so delicious.
it's always sparkling when he drinks it. His family only makes sparkling rosés, Eric, because they sparkle with the sunlight. Yeah.
But I was gonna say, so like he's been like working in the farms, like he's obviously a fighter. He's got big old muscles. He births, like he helps the baby grape plants birth new ones. So he's really like out in the fields, like helping those ones out. But
He also has huge legs. He's always stomping on the grapes.
no, he has one huge leg.
He's lopsided. You're right.
He is lopsided. Right. But the thing is, that's what helps him also play music. Is his lopsided leg is the he carries around a bass drum with him, so he always kicks with that leg.
His musical instrument is the bass drum. It's the kick drum, actually.
Yeah, it's the kick drum along with his angelic voice.
He always carries his angelic voice and his kick drum into battle in order to fight the bullywugs that once bullied him in high school.
Exactly.
And would come and pillage his vineyard back at his house. All right,
so,
Eric,
but
what's
the
this
thing
guy's
with his
name?
vineyard?
Yeah.
Oh, his name? Alex, this is going to be an homage to all our listeners out there. It's his name is Steveth, a mix of Steve and Seth.
Steveth.
Yep, his name is
Steveth. Steveth Rosolio.
Steveth Big Rosolio.
Rosolio Grandius.
Yes, Steveth Rosolio Grandius.
Yeah.
The empowered Bardric fighter.
Yeah.
Who has just very lopsided body. His left side is massive. Right side, like a little Thumbelina. Like you can just throw that thing around. But his left side is just pure mass because he picks with his left hand and stomps with his left foot.
Well, it's very important that he's lopsided because that's how you defeat the giant spider snakes. It turns out that because he's so lopsided, he needs no training in how to walk without rhythm. That's true. How he can get across the webs of the giant spider snakes undetected.
Mm-hmm. They also, when they try to wrap him up, they can't because they're used to a uniform body, and they sort of freak out when one side is just freakishly large, and they're like, this isn't normal. And of course, Bullywugs, he lures them in with that beating thump of his bass kick drum.
His kick drum, yep.
Because they think it's a mating call, and so they come and he just beats them all up because they don't expect it. They're way too horned up and coming in, and then he takes advantage of their confusion.
But he has a heart of gold. So he doesn't. Yeah, he just beats them up. He doesn't rob them or kill them.
No. He teaches them a lesson. He beats them up and gives them a stern PowerPoint that he has created throughout the years.
And his weapon of choice is obviously his hands.
Hand, Alex.
Sorry, just the left hand, which he uses to zoom you back to the moon.
He says,
as a being
boom.
of the sun, he gets them and he zooms them straight to the moon. That's right, Eric. Our new character is Sethrith Rosolio Grandius, the Lopsided. And he grew up in the sun vineyards of Varenkoth. And that's where he learned to become the bane of the spider snake and the scourge of the bullywugs.
The man is a creature unbeknownst to the human realm. Honestly, he's something of a legend amongst the nearby towns.
Absolutely, Eric. Yeah. So watch out if you ever see Sethrith Rosolio coming your way. You can tell because his gait is unlike anything else. He's so it has no rhythm or form.
Oh, it is aggressively lopsided.
Except for when he's pounding out a constant beat with that kick drum, Eric. There's nothing quite like his angelic voice.
Everyone bouncing.
Yeah, there's nothing like his angelic voice and a strong thumping of the kick drum. All right, Eric, we gotta
hold the beat.
Yeah, we got to wrap this podcast up. We've gone long like usual. And got to thank those sponsors. So today's podcast was brought to you by the dungeon. Oh, just kidding. The Monster Manual, where all the monsters live. They live out in the Monster Manual. Get yours today, Monster Manual.
That's right. We could not have done it without the Kick Drum Emporium's sponsorship. Come on down, buy your kick drum today. Honestly, not much you can do with a kick drum, but hey, it really completes the ensemble.
This podcast is brought to you by Susie the Spider Snakes, Snip Snips. Come on down and get your very own pixie cut. They're the only cut she knows, but she's very good at it. And if you complain, she'll wrap you up and eat you.
Can't go full Karen on the Karenest of them, y'all. Alex, we could not have done this without the brand new product from Big Rose, which is, of course, water flavored rose. Come on, get your rose water coolers now. Great for chilling at the park and drinking in inconspicuous locations, such as your AA meeting. I'm sorry, that was bad.
Oh no,
that was real bad. Or your child's concert recital. Who knows? Anywhere that normally a normal rosé couldn't go, bring an an alcoholic rosé cooler, water cooler.
This podcast is brought to you by the Beefarito. That's right. If you're trying to cut down in order to make cycling weight, wrap up those tacos in Beefaritos, baby. No carbs, only beef.
Alex, I could not have put it better myself. Do you have any other sponsors?
Yeah, this podcast, as always, is brought to you by Homegrown Hops.
Gotta love it.
It's summer. The cones are out, baby. They're coning. Watch out for Homegrown Hops. All right, Eric, this has been Just Do It, a Dewey Brothers D&D breakdown podcast. I'm Alex.
I'm Eric.
And for the love of God, man.
Just send it, because do you know who's sending it? Steve-eth, the great corn. What was his name? I lost it.
Steve-eth Rosolio Grandes?
That's right. You gotta send it just for Steve-eth, Rosolio?
Banisher of the Bullywugs, Slayer of the Spider Snakes.
I'm trying to say it.
Himself.
Alex said it.
Rosolio Grandes.
That's the one. Stevolio Roses Grandalius, the many named. What a hero.
All right, peace.